Uh, okay, we're starting at Hey Hey in Tohoros.
Sounds good to me. Wait a second. Let's just see that right. Hey, yeah. If we're on, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
Regarding two paths, one Tame and one Tahor. If someone walked on one of them and prepared Taharos, and his friend came and walked on the second path and prepared Taharos, Rabbi Yehuda says if each of them inquired separately, both are Tahor. But if they both people inquired together, both are Tame. And Rabbi Yossi says either way, both are Tame. Regarding two loaves, one Tame and one Tahor, if someone ate of one of them and prepared Taharos, and his friend came and ate the second loaf and prepared Taharos, Rabbi Yehuda says, if such each of them inquired separately, both are Tahor, but if both inquired together, both are Tame, and Rabbi Yossi says, either way, both are Tame. Regarding someone who was sitting in the public domain and one came and tread on his clothes or spit or he touched his saliva, with regard to his saliva, we burn truma. But with regard to his clothes, we follow the majority. If he was sleeping in the public domain and then then awoke, his clothes are tummy, whereas the midrash, these are the words of Red Meir, but the Kekaman moved them tahor. If someone touched a person at night and does not know whether that person was alive or dead, and in the morning he arose and found himself dead, found him dead, the mayor rules that he is tahor, but the sages rule that he is tummy, because all uncertainties of tumah are decided according to the status at the time of their discovery.
okay. Mishna ches, shota achas be'ir. If there is one woman in the town who doesn't know how to look after herself, not to spit and not to whatever take care of other people's tu'atara during the time of her own nida, or a nochris or a kusis or a non-Jew or a kutis, a Samaritan.
Right.
So non-Jews, Chachamim made a gezerah that they like Zavim altogether. And Kusi is somebody that they declared on them that they are considered Matame from the time that they're born, basically, with Tumas Nida. Because they're not careful about Tumas and Taros. So
Okay.
if that's the case, then Kol Harukim Sheba'ir Tamain. Then we just have to assume that all spittle in the city is considered tame. Okay. Misha darsa ishal begadav. Now, if a woman stood on his clothes, or sheyashva imo besfina, or even if she's sitting with him in a boat, there's a boat where, like, if you shift your weight, then it rocks the boat. Okay.
Mhm.
So because if she shifts her weight, then she's also moving the guy who's sitting on the other bench.
Right.
Okay. So then if she is a niddah, then she is going to make him tame because she's moving him effectively, and she's got tumas midras. Okay. So in makiratu, if the guy knows that the woman knows that he's a kohen, shehu ochel b'truma. Okay. And she doesn't say anything, then he can just assume, okay, she knows I'm a kohen, she hasn't said anything, and therefore I can presume that I'm still tahor. Okay. But if this woman doesn't know that he's a kohen, then he has to discreetly go up to her and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm a kohen and I need to know, are you a niddah?"
Right.
A bit awkward, but he
Yeah.
has to he either has to clarify it or assume that he's tameh.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Eid Omer. So one witness says nitma. One witness comes and says Fred has become tameh. But who Omer? And Fred says, "Nah, lo nitmaisia. You're talking nonsense. I never became tameh." So we rely on Fred himself. Fred knows best for himself whether he's tamei or not, and he's an aid against this other aid. Shnaim omrim nitmeisa. So two witnesses come and say, "Fred, we saw you become tamei." Who omer lo nitmeisi. He refuses to accept this. Rabbi Meir metame. Rabbi Meir says, "Look, you got two witnesses over here. You can hang somebody on the basis of two witnesses." Okay, hang, well, I mean, that's not one of our execution forms, but strangulation or whatever, we can execute somebody on two witnesses. Are you not going to believe them when they make him tameh? He can be believed by himself. Why can we believe him against two witnesses? The Gemara explains that because his answer can be interpreted to mean, yeah, I did become tameh, but I've been to mikveh since. So therefore he's not directly necessarily contradicting the witnesses. He's just qualifying and saying it's no longer relevant. Okay, so he's believed on his own account. Obviously, if two witnesses say you did not become Tameh, it doesn't matter whether it's public or private domain, he's Tahor. Two against one say he was Tameh. Two against one always wins. Now you've got two witnesses. One said yes, one said no. Isha omeres nitma, Isha omeres lo nitma. You have even two women who coming and saying, I saw him become tummy, and the other one said, no, you're mistaken. It wasn't really tumah. He didn't become tummy. Birshus yachid tameh, birshus harabim tahor. So this goes down to the level of safek again. And if it's in the rishus yachid, then we have to be choshesh for the one who says that he became tummy. Okay. Perik Vav Aleph. Makom shehaya rishus yachid v'nasa rishus harabim. So if it was
Joel, I left it on the shelf.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So makom shehaya rishus hayachid, it was a rishus hayachid, v'nasa rishus harabim, and the person who made it into whose rishus hayachid it was said, look, I'm happy for everyone to walk through this place, make a public thoroughfare. It's now become a rishus harabim. The chazav v'nasa rishus hayachid, and then he had left a clause inside that said he can take it back anytime he wants, and he took it back for himself. Said, okay, I'm closing the gate. Nobody's allowed to come through here anymore. So if any sveikos arose in that area that changed from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim and back again, it all depends at what time the suffix arose. Rishus HaRabim is tahor and Rishus HaYachid is tameh. Hamasukan b'Rishus HaYachid. Now there's a person who was dying. Okay, and he was situated in a Rishus HaYachid. And they quickly carried him out into the Rishus HaRabim. Maybe they're on the way to the hospital or something like that. Okay, and they carried him into another Rishus HaYachid. And in all of these cases, Sveikos arose. At the end of this whole story, obviously he's died, and now we don't know at what point he died. At the beginning, middle, end, where was he when he died? And there are a whole bunch of Sveikos now as to where he died. Keshehu b'Rishus HaYachid. Okay, once again, it's the public domain makes it into tahor, and the private domain, any safek is tameh. Rabbi Shimon Omer, he says no. Rishus harabim mafsekes. If you've got Rishus Hayachid A, Rishus harabim, and then Rishus Hayachid B. Okay, so if we already have a suffix on something that is in the Rishus Harabim, says Rabbi Shimon, and we said that that's tahor, it doesn't make sense to say that something that was besafek in Rishus HaYachid, but A, which was before the Rishus Harabim, how can we say that's tameh when we're saying that the one that's in the Rishus Harabim is tahor? He must have been. That means we're saying that he was alive at the time, and therefore it should be tahor also in Rishus Harabim A. However, the halacha doesn't follow Rabbi Shimon. We're not paskening that he was alive in the Rishus Harabim. We're just saying that there's an individual psak in each place. And the psak in that place is the one that we go after, and it's all based on safek. It's not ki'ilu we're saying that he was vadai alive when he was in the Rishus Harabim. We're just saying that this is the psak. Okay, and Adkan.
Okay. Hazar.
Okay, no, we're gonna stop over here. I'm gonna have to get my stuff.
Okay. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Tomorrow at 9:45.
I might be able to do earlier because I might not be going to my doctor tomorrow because of this thing. So I might not be going. So if I find it early, I'll let you know. Okay? I'll text you.
Okay, have a safe.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.